Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this June 6th regular meeting of the Zion City Council to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner McDowell? Commissioner Frierson?
Here.
Commissioner Holmes?
Here.
Commissioner Fisher?
Here.
Mayor McKinney?
Here. Next item is Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Brimner, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please join me in pledging allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir.
At this point, we usually have Commissioner McDowell typically has somebody that offers a prayer for us, but in his absence and nothing being arranged, I'd just like to offer a moment of silence, and you can pray for the items that are most important or things that are happening in the world that impact us all. Thank you. Item number 4, agenda changes. Do any of the commissioners have any agenda changes? If not, is there a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Frierson, second by Holmes. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frierson?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries. Item number 5, we have a special presentation. Chief?
Yeah.
We're good to go?
Yeah.
We have a special presentation this evening before citizens' comments. We like to recognize Officer Robert Ogden Jr. He's been assigned to the Patrol Division. The tenure of his career with the Zion Police Department. In his 9-year time frame, he has developed a sustained proactivity on the second shift focused on felony drug and gun charges and gun crimes. This proactivity has made him a department frontrunner in recovered legal firearms. In 2022, the Zion Police Department as a whole recovered over 100 firearms. This total included illegal guns recovered by the Patrol and Investigations Division. Of this 2022 total, Officer Ogden Jr. recovered 18 illegal firearms. This is the highest number of any officer under any assignment in the department. The remaining officers in the Patrol Division recovered 53 illegal firearms in 2022, making Officer Ogden's Jr. recovery rate nearly 25% of the total illegal firearms recovered by the Patrol Division. So we're going to have a resolution of recommendation presented to Officer Robert Ogden Jr. for your dedication to the preservation of the public health and safety of the citizens of the city of Zion, Illinois, and for your actions throughout the year 2022 as a member of the Zion Police Department. Outstanding performance, annual performance 2022, 18 firearms recovered, dated this 6th date of June 2023 at Zion, Illinois. Congratulations, Officer Ogden. Come on down. Commissioners, you want to come on down and take a picture of this?
It's being done. It's being done. Right.
We might can put him up on our page.
Yeah.
All right, citizens' comments, item number 6. Mary Lou Hildebrand.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. During the month of May, your ESDA volunteers donated over 161 hours for a value to the city of $4,830. We were called for a train blocking 173 near Delaney. We did traffic safety for the Elite Striders Drill or Die Parade. There were participating groups from Zion, North Chicago, Nebraska, Indiana, and South Carolina. Other members did traffic safety on that same day for the Family Resource Center Walk for Life. Later that same day, we assisted with traffic for an accident at 27th and Lewis. And then on Friday, we did traffic for graduation at the high school, and on that weekend, barricades and cones were put out for an accident that took out the gate at the railroad at 27th Street. We performed a monthly siren test, and members participated in the honor flight. We had our monthly meeting, and members did training. We assisted with the monthly food pantry at New Tech parking lot. Members did duty times for the upkeep of the center and equipment. If you are interested in being a positive influence in our city, go to www.cityofzion.com, and from the I Want To drop-down menu, choose Apply. We always welcome new members who want to make a difference. Thank you for your continued support.
Thank you, Mary Lou, as always, and as the crew. Raymond Gilmore.
As you know, we had an accident at the intersection of Cypress and Kenosha Road there. Somebody ran over the light, knocked it down, left it all damaged, unrepairable. And what we need is a no outlet sign at our entrance. Just like a lot of places around here, we got no outlets at the entrance. And we'd like to know when will that light be repaired, replaced? Because that's the third time it's been hit.
Is that the light on Green Bay Road?
Sure. Kenosha Road.
Kenosha.
Oh, Kenosha
It's
Road.
in the entrance. It's on the list to be repaired.
Okay.
We have over 12 lights that have been hit this year.
Like the one that the damage light all the way, because it's unrepairable. You know, you're not gonna put new parts on it.
Okay.
It's still in there. And another thing, you've been to our entrance there, we got that marquee there, Cypress subdivision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could say, welcome to Zion. You know.
All right, thank you. Clyde McLemore?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. As you may not notice that I have been around Zion. I've been promoted for Black Lives Matter as a regional director. I moved south, Jackson, Florida, all the way over to all the south and then the Midwest. But I'm back home now. And we got some events going on here in Lake County, and I wanted to bring it because Zion, we ain't keeping you in the dark. We in the front. First of all, this Saturday, free, no cost a dime. This Saturday, we have family bowling from 12 to 4. Every child will get a toy if they come out. There will be a trophy for the most gutter balls, first and second place. And then there will be a trophy for the highest score, first and second place. That's this Saturday, 12 to 4, Butcher's Bowling Alley. I got some flyers here, which I'll give you. Also, you know, our third annual Black Expo, Business Expo in August. We're going to do it back over in Waukegan. We're looking for vendors, businesses, and stuff like that. June is a month that we celebrate Juneteenth. And as you know, we're going to do the cookout here in Zion. But I would like to present I'm bringing a gift to the city of Zion and ask you to hang this flag. This flag is for Juneteenth, and I ordered it. It's the original one. It has our colors. The colors are red for the blood that was shed by our ancestors, black for the color of the people who it happened to, green for the land which we were stolen from, and gold, which the gold that was robbed from us. This year I'd like to present to the city of Zion, Waukegan, and North Chicago, all accepted this. I want to know would the city of Zion accept this gift and hang this flag for Juneteenth?
We'll accept the gift and we'll take it under consideration. Thank you.
I want to fold it
Yes.
the proper way. Oh, man. All right, I get it to you.
Okay.
I want to make sure it's right. You know. And I hope to see y'all at the cookout,
All right. Is that the, what date is the cookout?
June 17th at the Zion Event Shed.
Okay. All right.
And we got bands and everything. That's all free too.
All right.
Everything we doing is free. We're trying to give back to the community.
Okay.
Here the flyers.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's what's that. I consider leaving some flyers out on the table in the lobby, Clyde.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
I know I ain't gonna stay long. Hang on. See you get Jimmy.
All right. Moving on to item number 7 is consent agenda.
Approval of minutes of a regular meeting held on May 16th, 2023 at 7 p.m.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Make the motion?
Motion by Holmes,
Second.
second by Fisher. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Abstain.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye. Motion carries.
Bills, vouchers 140841 through 140998, drawn on Huntington National Bank, total $2,313,501.98.
Is there a motion to approve the bills?
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
Second.
Motion by Fisher, second by Holmes. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries. Item number 8, consider and passing ordinances as follows. 8A, approving and authorizing a redevelopment agreement by and between the City of Zion and 1701 Auto Service, Inc., per Administrator Nabel.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. The city was approached by 1701 Auto Service, Inc. for TIF assistance for the completion of their renovations of their business at 1701 Lewis Avenue. They have renovated a significant portion of the building already, so they've done good work on that. If you go by there and check it out, it was shuttered and vacant and gated up for a while. They're requesting a TIF grant not to exceed $56,000 for all TIF eligible exterior improvements, which include but are not limited to parking lot and signage. The TIF board of review and staff recommend approval of the TIF incentive as presented. Zion residents and owners.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Holmes,
Second.
second by Frierson. Any questions or comments?
My comment was I was just nosy and I didn't even know what was happening and I stopped in. I don't know who I talked to, but you guys are doing a good job. It looks good.
Yeah.
They're here if there's any questions.
It's been an eyesore for several years, and because it comes to the kind of the entrance to our city on Lewis Avenue, I've driven by it several times over the last couple of weeks, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So thank you for that.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries. Item 8B, approving and authorizing a redevelopment agreement by and between the City of Zion and Polo Bacano, Inc. for Administrator Nabel. And I was thinking, with my Spanish, is it Pollo?
Pollo.
Oh, yeah.
I was right, my instinct.
I could be completely wrong, but I think it's Colombian and translates like cool or hip chicken, but I'm not 100% sure.
All right. Pollo Bacano.
But, so prior to the closure of TIF 3, at the end of 2022, the city earmarked $300,000 of TIF funds, remaining balance in that fund, for either demolition or renovation of the old Hardee's, Bill's Custard, Q's Place. Now have a good restaurant going in there. So luckily, rather than demolition of that building and property, the owners came in, wanted to open a nice restaurant there, really capture traffic into the town as well as the Illinois Beach traffic. They're doing, again, they're already doing great things on the building itself, a lot of renovations, good concept, as you can see in your packet. But we were approached by the owners for TIF assistance. As I said, they completed a significant portion of the improvements on the building. The grant request was submitted in an amount not to exceed $278,134 for all TIF eligible exterior improvements, which include but are not limited to parking lot replacement, desperately needed, fencing around the property, and new signage. The TIF board review and staff recommends approval of the incentive as presented.
All right. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Motion by Fisher,
Second.
second by Holmes. Questions or comments?
Yes, I do have a question. When are you expected to open?
Our plans are to open by the middle of July, the latest end of July.
Okay,
We just pretty much the whole inside is done already. We're just waiting to start the outside. One of the biggest expenses too,
yeah.
which is the driveway, the signs, the landscaping, and the fence. But inside is pretty much the only thing that's missing is the granite, and that's it. Besides that, all the interior, bathrooms, plumbing, everything is done.
So, yeah, so you're, I think I saw that, you're definitely upgrading the restrooms? Because I remember going in there, they definitely need to be upgraded.
Everything's upgraded.
Everything.
Everything is brand new, done the right way, by code, everything. And just for the outside, that's the only thing that we're missing pretty much, and we'd be ready to open.
Well, I know there's a lot of people who are very curious about it.
The
There's a
sign-
lot of interest, yeah.
The signs are already, they already in process. I think about another week, we're gonna get the signs already up. And the fence, we already ordered it. And the last thing is the driveway, pretty much ready to open.
Great, good to hear.
Hey, ¿qué tipo comida? What kind of
It's gonna
food?
be, chicken, tacos, beef, rice. We're still working kind of on the menu, but it's gonna be something, that stuff, we're trying to work on the menu. Like, to have about 8 choices. And when people get there, they already know what to order.
Well,
We like Hispanic food.
okay. I've been watching the renovation over the last several months, and it looks absolutely great. It's really great to see on the south side of town and the north side of town. There's a lot of improvement, as you see with the Popeyes and development there on 33rd, so it's nice to see the activity.
Yeah.
And again, the building looks terrific. I've stopped in the parking lot a couple of times to check it out.
Yeah, it's a big difference from before, changed it a lot.
Yeah.
Well, Commissioner Holmes eats a lot of pollo, so thank you.
Once we open, all you are invited.
Pollo y frijoles.
Yes, yes, I do, that too.
All right, all right. We have a motion and a second. We had questions. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries. Item number 8C, I always want to see C as in cookie. I don't know why Sesame Street is in. Amending section 90-133 of chapter 90 of the Zion Municipal Code regarding prohibited parking in the city of Zion, per Chief Barton.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Commissioners. After review of the parking code under section 90-133, I consulted with our council to clean up the language in the code. This will better serve the community, making it easier to follow the parking restrictions within the city. Additionally, this cleanup This cleanup will allow for commissioner approval to either address an issue or remove a parking restriction without new ordinance adoption, as we currently do. I've attached a revised copy of the code. Staff respectfully recommends approval as presented.
All right, is there a motion to approve the amending of section 9133 of chapter 90 of the Zion Municipal Code?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Frierson, second by Holmes. Questions, comments?
Yeah, can we just speak to, basically, if I'm reading this right, we're stripping out all of the specifics today of where parking is allowed, and then in the future, that will be dictated by the signage that will be posted in those particular areas. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct. So currently, we have 31 specific adoptions to the ordinance. And frankly, a number of them were put into place as an ordinance to address an issue that may have been specific to that area or block or whatever, and that problem may have been resolved. And we still have the restriction there. This language allows for commissioner approval, and working with Director Roberts, we will either drop a sign in the ground or remove a sign from the ground, and that'll dictate the code and the specific restrictions to that area. Say it's a whole block, say it's a certain time, whatever the restrictions need to be. We can do that without having to develop a new ordinance, adding to the layer. It just makes it easier for the citizens to know it's clear right there, I can't park here, without having to go through our mini code and find the right section, and then hope that they're reading it right.
So the process again to add a new sign, you're saying that'll come back for council approval again, or?
It does not need to. Under the new ordinance, it'll
Right.
go through Commissioner over Public Safety's approval.
Got it.
And then either at my request or Director Roberts' request, we can ask the Commissioner to approve this. Once signed off on, we can go ahead and put that. Now, there's no enforcement for 10 days post addition of signs. So we give time for the residents to see the sign, adhere to the sign, and follow the rules from there.
Okay. And then do we have any minimum, like is there gonna be 2 signs per block, or how does that go?
There's no minimum, but we'll definitely make it clear that we have a printer in-house, so the signage isn't the issue. That's actually the easy part.
Got it. And then, have we thought about listing the website and then Blackboard notifications? Does that come up as part of your discussion for notifying residents?
Hey, we can do that. That's no problem.
Okay. And then the thought came up about stolen signs. Has that been something that we've had to address in the past?
No.
No. Thank you.
All right. Any additional questions or comments? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries. Item number 9, discussion, authorization, approval. 9A, consider approval of quote from Motorola Solutions for portable radio equipment per Chief Barton.
Again, thank you, Honorable Mayor and Commissioners. Due to the additional personnel hired under the COPS grant, we need to procure additional essential equipment, in this case, police radios. Working with Chicago Communications, a supplier of Motorola Solutions, I've attached a quote for your review. This quote includes all necessary portable radio equipment to outfit 5 officers, which are covered under the COPS grant, including but not limited to the radios, microphones, programming, encryption, and a various number of other keys and codes that have to go into the radios. In total, the quote of $39,033.55 will be submitted to JETSB for reimbursement. I respectfully request approval of this quote as presented. Motorola Solutions is part of a Sourcewell, and no bid process is required. Sourcewell contract is 042021-MOT.
All right, is there a motion for approval of quote from Motorola Solutions?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Frierson,
I'll second.
second by Fisher. Questions or comments? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries. Item number 9B, consider approval of quote from Current Technologies for replacement server per Chief Barton.
Again, thank you, Honorable Mayor and Commissioners. The police department holds the server for the milestone camera system for the city. We are at the life expectancy of this unit. Attached, you will find a quote from Current Technologies for a replacement unit, Dell PowerEdge R760XS, for the purchase price of $10,136.99 plus $2,600 or $2,640 for labor and installation. I respectfully request waiving of the bid process as we are operating under a cooperative purchasing alliance as we've done in the past, and approval of the quote as presented.
All right, is there a motion to approve the Current Technologies replacement server? Motion by Frierson,
Second.
second by Holmes. Questions or comments?
Quick question for you, Chief. What is for the public, what is the Milestone camera system?
So Milestone is all of our city cameras, all of our cameras within the building here, all of our jail cameras, all of our police department cameras, any camera that the city operates that's attached to a server. Other than, this has nothing to do with body worn cameras, but this is
Right,
hardwired.
this is the street cameras, the interior cameras here,
Yep.
and then, okay.
Yes, sir. And
How-
everything in the police department as well.
How, records retention, how long are recordings kept on the system?
90 days unless we preserve them for evidence. Now understand we have, I want to say it's upwards of 32 cameras or it's right around, I think it's about 32 cameras on this system, and they're all recording at pretty high quality. So the reason why we've asked to go with this level of server is just because it gives us, one, expansion if we ever add cameras, which we've done from time to time, and then two, it keeps the data where we're not losing that, we're not buffering faster than that 90 days. 90 days is about all we need to re-record over what we have before we identify there's any potential evidence on any of the cameras that we might need.
Okay, thank you.
And Chief, we had briefly talked about the lesser expense of possibly going with a cloud solution. That's not viable because of the jails, the cameras that those cover?
Correct. And so we're clear, initially, the initial quote that I worked with Current Technologies was for a Milestone branded server, was almost double the cost. I went back to them and asked them to go back and quote a Dell, which from what they said is Dell makes the Milestone stuff, so, and it was significantly cheaper, and we also get that cooperative purchasing, because we're a part of that through Dell. So the cost is significantly lower with this system, and we really don't, we can't because we have sensitive information and people, frankly, if they're in the jail cell, that are being videoed.
Thank you.
All right, any other additional questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries. Item number 10, departmental commentary. Director Ians?
Thank you, Your Honor. We're still taking applications for a lawn supervisor for the lawn crew. We started yesterday with very limited crew, cutting some of the parcels, but it's a slow process.
All right. Director Roberts?
Thank you, sir. A little update on the TIF project. They're starting to lay down the binder on 33rd, 34th, and then from 33rd from the east side, from Sheridan all the way to the end. But it seems to kind of, the water main, almost 3,000 linear feet of water main has been replaced. That is online. All the residents there are all hooked up, the businesses are hooked up, re-hooked up. So we took a 1928 water main and replaced it a 6-inch, yes. Same day you were born. Yeah. So we replaced that 1928 water main, upgraded it from a 6-inch to an 8. It should help with inequality and pressures. We also added in roughly about 600 linear feet of new sanitary, attendant sanitary, along Colgate, rerouted that to open up the city property that used to be Toohey lumber, to make that a little That is in place and operational now. There's another additional 3,000 linear feet of sanitary that's existing that we're gonna be lining to extend the life of that. So almost all, 80% of the underground work is complete. Now we're gonna start doing all the paving and finishing that side up. That includes a new road cutting through from Sheridan to Colgate. That'll be Yale Court, that's an extension of Yale Court, that's in between Popeyes and a new development. Provide a new access there for them, and anything we develop alongside there for future buildings. Colgate's getting totally reconstructed. The T alley behind Pizza Hut, and who else is over there anymore?
Pennies.
Used to be the video place.
Penny slots.
Until I really paid that. That T alley was totally is being redone also. So binders down on that T, Colgate, hopefully we'll start doing binders down tomorrow. All the paving should be complete within about a week and a half. From my understanding, talking with Popeyes, they are shooting for an August opening date. We're right on track with that, with all our new improvements.
Get in line first. I just have to be faster than you, right? All right.
You'd be surprised how fast I'm moving.
One question, what's a binder?
Binder is-
Commissioner Firestone has a binder next to me.
The binder course on a pavement, any road pavement, your bottom layer between 2.5 to 3 inches is a thicker, higher size aggregate in the asphalt. That makes the strength of the road. And then you'll add 1.5 to 2 inches of called surface, that's a smoother wearing course.
Okay. That's what I thought it was, but just wanted to make sure. Okay, yeah. Every once in a while I have to do that, right?
I'm always prepared.
All right. Chief Street.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Two quick things. First one is we are still working on our emergency siren system. Today was test day, and some probably didn't hear the test, and they didn't think much about it, but usually at 10 a.m. on the first Tuesday is test day, and only one of our 4 went up. And so we have our siren guy working with our dispatch center, and it's been kind of a slow, frustrating process. But we believe between now and next month, we'll have some headway on that. In the meantime, if we need to notify everybody, we certainly will be able to use Blackboard Connect, social media, that type of thing. So if we need to notify the public for an emergency, we certainly will be able to. But we want to get this siren situation wrapped up. This has been a long, ongoing process, but we think we're headed in the right direction with that. Second thing is this Saturday, the 10th, we're hosting a blood drive at Station 1, 9 to 1. We would hope that everybody considers either donating a pint. If that's not your thing, we understand. Maybe you could ask a friend or a family member to participate. And if even that's not feasible, maybe you could at least just help us spread the word. We have it on our Facebook page and our flyers all over the place here. And we would just like to see a good turnout. Donating blood, it seems like a small thing, but donating blood actually does save lives, whether it's in the hospital setting or cancer patients, all kinds of different applications. So 9 to 1 this Saturday at our Station 1. We'd love to see you, a friend or a family member, or all of the above. Thank you.
Question about the blood drive.
Yes.
When residents or people are giving blood, do they also identify what the blood type is?
Yes, so generally you'll get a report, when you give, you'll get a report on your vital signs and stuff there, but you'll also be given a number, a donor number, to follow up on things like that. They even test for COVID antibodies and stuff like that, but blood type, all that stuff, yes.
Okay. Curious. All right. Thank you, Chief Street. Chief Barton.
Thank you again, sir. Just a couple of things that I had. A reminder that Nostalgia Days is coming up. We will have Nostalgia Days prior to the next meeting. So be on the alert for Sheridan Road being closed and several hundred cars being parked, and go down and enjoy the show and food and festivities. I want to thank Mary Lou and her team for helping us out with the Elite Striders Parade. That was a fun event. I was there along with Your Honor, and it was nice to see. It was probably what I would say is maybe like a summer kickoff type event, and good turnout. We learned a few things about it and what we can do next year. But thank you to your team for helping us out with that. I know we were out there a little bit longer than anticipated. And then just the last thing is I want to thank the council for helping me with these recognitions. I know the officers don't like being called out in front of the council and in front of people, but I think it's an important thing. A lot of the officers that we have are good officers, and they do a lot of hard work and put themselves in danger daily. And you know, Rob Ogden and his dad actually work here now, and it's nice. And unfortunately, they're all tied up on a pretty large fight right now, which is why the rest of them couldn't be here. But it is nice to see the recognition come forward and support from this council. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You will, we all appreciate the job that is done, and I think one of the things that I would like to investigate in the future is not only acknowledging our city employees for the job that they do. They've been great through the pandemic. You know, the officers, first responders, everyone's really been working hard with some of the challenges that we've had from a budget standpoint. But possibly in the future, I think one of the things that I'd like to look at is just acknowledging some of our residents or businesses that are coming to town and that have been in town for a while, just for things that they do, because sometimes we take that for granted. And when COVID hit, there are a lot of businesses in different places that went under. Our council worked really hard to make sure that our businesses had some additional resources. But I think in the future, you know, that's something that we can talk about at another time. But just appreciate the small acknowledgement, appreciation does a lot for a lot of people. So we appreciate again what your officers do, and the other departments as well. I get a chance to see our building department out mowing the yards. Bob Serrano, our lead inspector, out mowing the yards until we get our crew. I've given them a little assistance with a couple of lots in my area. And of course, I see the public works crew out on a daily basis, filling in potholes now that we're getting the mix, and always see our fire department as well with assisting our citizens in time of need. So thank you for all that you do. Administrator Nabel.
My turn? All right. I want to expand a little bit on what Director Roberts said about the TIF project, and speaking of recognition, I'm going to get the death eyes from him. But he took me on a tour of the actual project, was it last week? And we walked the entirety of the work that's being done there. And we saw it all on paper when we went through the bid process and everything like that. So, but seeing it there compared to the scope of what is actually being done there, and he mentioned a lot of the highlights, but this is one of the largest infrastructure projects that we've done that I can recall since I've been here, and that's 12 years, and I know a lot about going back on that, but not just in this size, but the complexity of all the moving pieces of it, between the sanitary, the water mains. It's not just a street project where you're paving street. It's new streets, it's the street paving, it's the sanitaries, it's all the elevations, it's all the curbs, and all the planning that goes into this, and all of the prospective planning. And that was all coordinated by Director Roberts for working on the design and engineering of that project and working with our contractors. And it was really impressive to see in person. I would suggest, not that I'm gonna sign them up for tours for council, but I mean, I was a little winded by the end of it because of the amount of walking that there was, but just to see what we're getting done down there for the dollars that we're using TIF funds, not general funds and other tax dollars, is really impressive. And he took that all on when we said we had the TIF closing out, and it's turning out fantastic. So he's not one to pat his own back, so I'm doing it, and I'll hear about it later. But, so appreciate you, Ray. So despite the crap he gives you about.
Can we give him a round of applause?
He does great. Now we're really gonna hear it. What I really wanted to talk about, not that.
Are you blushing? Are you blushing?
No, that's rage. We're gonna be in water bills, keep an eye out, because we're working on all the communication pieces for the change in garbage service that's gonna be happening on September 5th. Recycling is gonna be going to an every other week. Your pickup days for garbage and recycling are still gonna be the same. But we're working on getting communication pieces out, getting website information out. We're gonna be including those in water bills, so that everyone, we bill in every 3 months, so we're gonna get in June, July, and August water bills, so that by September 5th, everyone will have seen that. Then in August, the second week of August, Waste Management is gonna be sending out a brochure to every resident, explaining the changes with a calendar showing pickup dates, what's allowed, what's not, basically saying that all the garbage, alley pickup for garbage in bulk is going away. It's going to the front, it's going curbside, similar to how recycling is right now. And then the week following that, we're gonna do a social media blitz, probably utilize Blackboard as the general information piece of that for all of that. And then the last week before the weekend of Labor Day, when everything transitions over, they're also gonna go out and on every cart put a cart hanger that says effective September 5th, this is changing, and it's also gonna have a calendar on the back so that every resident will, and we're putting it in the Zion Quarterly that's coming out for July as well. So we're trying to get as much communication out there about the changes in the garbage service as we can, and so hopefully people will see it in multiple places. But we want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity. I mean, I know we're going to get calls saying my garbage wasn't picked up because people didn't see it, they put it in the alley. And luckily, that only has to happen once before they know next week, put it out front. But just keep an ear out for that. If you have other friends, family, neighbors, direct them to the changes. If you hear about it, direct them to websites, which are in development on the information. But there's going to be a lot of information coming out in the next couple months on this.
Dave, one question about that.
Yeah.
Will also this information include a time frame from the removal of the cans from the parkway?
Yes, it specifically says that it can't be out any earlier than 6 p.m. the night before, and then it has to be removed at a certain time before the next day. And we are going to be doing compliance, boosting up compliance on that. We're not going to be hitting the hammer hard on that. We're going to be doing letters saying, hey, this has to be brought in. But we want to make sure, just from a garbage spread standpoint, that people aren't leaving garbage cans out on the streets or out front all week, having animals get into it, especially as we get into winter with snow plowing. We know that's going to be another challenge. We already have challenges with street parking during plowing. Now people leave their garbage cans out there. That's going to be an additional problem, just from the snow that comes off the windrow blades. So they're, we're going to have to be worried about knocking cans over, things like that. So we know there's going to be some growing pains on this, but we'll get through them, and we'll get used to that being the new normal, and hopefully keep those pains to a minimum.
All right, is that it?
That's it.
Well, I'm going to ask you to talk a little bit about the ICSC.
Okay, so Sonalito Bronson, the mayor, and myself went to ICSC. They call it RECON, the International Council of Shopping Centers is what ICSC stands for. They have a large show every year where it's at the Las Vegas Convention Center, which, if any of you have been to, is a huge facility. We walk probably 6 to 10 miles a day going back and forth to different booths and vendors, but thousands of vendors, retailers, basically all go to this show. with their site selectors, with their criteria for what they're looking for, whether they're expanding, things like that. So we go out there every year and we hit them hard and make sure we're selling Zion and they know about us. That's where we got Popeyes from, we got ATI, we got Starbucks, trying to think of.
Little Caesars.
Little Caesars came from out of there, and some more that we're working on, but we go out there every year and we check in with businesses that are there that are already in town, take the opportunity to make sure, check in, see if there's any issues that we don't know about. It's easier to fix issues of an existing business than have them fail or leave and try and replace them, so we do check-ins, which is a big part of that. But then also we focus on, with retail strategies, we come up with a pretty comprehensive plan of businesses that fit our market, that are looking in the area, because a lot of these site selectors might be California or Florida or wherever, and there's 100,000 municipalities like Zion across the country that they could throw a dart at. We try to get in their heads and go, why, just they need to be here. We also were looking at brokerage services to start much more aggressively marketing the ball field property, as well as the 6 acres that we now have across from the Walmart and the 1.5 acres that was the old Tui lumber property, to try and get developers interested in sell that property as well. So very successful event this year. A lot of good discussions and good ideas that we're hopefully going to be talking about in upcoming months. Sally LeBronson is actually, I've talked to her, and she's going to be circling back with retail strategies next week and put together a report for council of everyone we talked to, what the prospects are, and what came out of the show. So you'll get a much more detailed synopsis of the show shortly.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I wanted Dave to mention that too is just because we've had the development on the south end of town, and now with the Starbucks out west, there's been a lot of interest from other entities now about coming in, and once Starbucks is kind of an anchor store for a lot of people, so it's made the property, the ball field property, much more attractive for us. And so it was a great show, and people think when you're in Vegas that you're out at the slot machines, and it is from 7. We meet at 7 in the morning for breakfast, and I don't think we were probably finished until 8 at night. So it's a lot of walking, a lot of selling, but we have a lot of people that are interested in Zion, and in fact, I just saw the release, and if you could talk about this a little bit, about the Empyrean company that we've been working with for the last couple of years. They put out a press release that they are coming to Trumpet Park, a deal that we've been working on for like the last 2 or 3 years.
Oh, it's been a while, yeah. The big piece of that was them basically getting financing. They had to market the project, get the capital financing. There was a lot of hesitancy from financiers right now, especially post-pandemic, about new facilities, what was going to be happening. But their project is about a 750,000 square foot facility, the largest development in Zion since probably the hospital, going out into Trumpet Park. It's a 500,000 square foot facility and a 250,000 that they're looking to construct out there, and then they have modular tenants based on need of size, to get an underserved market of places that also, a lot of places that do spec building, especially if you go across the border, they might have a 500,000 square foot facility, but there's no outdoor facilities for either parking or materials or anything like that. They also, a lot of places, they won't even look at them if they're under, 500,000 square feet. And there's places looking that are kind of we're a perfect secondary market for an overlooked base. And they saw that, and they saw that Zion was a great spot for that. And we worked closely with them through, like the mayor said, for many years, put together some incentive packages through TIF, kept pushing hard. It was definitely an uphill push for various reasons, but we've been working great in conjunction with them. And we got notice actually while we were out at ICSC that they found a financier that was interested in backing the project, and they're putting out that we're moving forward. We typically don't like to put that information out there. We let them lead the way. So that's why I'm hesitant when I talk about ICSC stuff. There's a lot behind the scenes that I'd like to talk about, but until it happens, it's not happening. So, but yeah, this, I mean, when that goes through, it will be huge. It will be a game changer for the design community as far as jobs and tax base and everything.
All right, thank you. Administrator Nate.
Absolutely.
All right. Commissioner Fryerson, any thoughts?
That was a mouthful. I have a lot of thoughts, but no.
None that you want to share?
No, not tonight.
All right. Commissioner Holmes?
I just wanted to say, in addition to June being the celebration of Juneteenth, June is also a recognition month for Pride. So those who celebrate, I say Happy Pride. That's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Holmes? Commissioner Fisher?
I would just note that a lot of you probably already know this, but just for the record, that today is the 79th anniversary of the D-Day landings in Normandy. And it's definitely a watermark in the history of this country and the world. So just take a moment to remember those who gave their lives to free Europe. So just a moment in history.
All right. My comments will be brief tonight. Commissioner Holmes talked about Juneteenth. Of course, Chief Barb talked about Nostalgia Day, which everybody is excited about this year. And as we move into the summer months, we're going to be vigilant again about fireworks within our community. They're illegal in Illinois, especially some of the commercial grade. And just talking with our police chief, we're going to do a lot more enforcement. The last 2 years, we put out an ordinance. We warned people the last couple of years. This year, there won't be any warnings. When they violate the ordinance that has been put in place, they will be fined for the commercial grade fireworks that go off in our town. And it's hard because you have veterans, you have seniors, you have pets, you have people that have PTSD that are sensitive to this. And it's while we want to celebrate our country on the 4th of July, the birth of our country, we also want to be respectful of our neighbors with our activities. Other than that, we'll move on to announcements now. On June 20th at 6 p.m. we have a Zion. Jim, you're side-eyeing me like I forgot.
Not at all.
But don't eyeball me like that. June 20th, we have 6 p.m. a Zion a town board meeting. And at 7 o'clock on June 20th, we have a 7 p.m. a Zion City Council meeting. July 4th, the Zion offices will be closed for the holiday and there won't be a city council meeting. Also, if I'm correct, June 29th this year will be the fireworks display given by the Zion Park District. And the reason we had a lot of questions last year why it wasn't on June 4th, July 4th, over, I think the weekend was at the weekend, and we gave it, because of the cost of fireworks have gone up so much over the last couple of years, and finding a vendor to be able to have the fireworks on when is the 29th, by the way?
Thursday.
It's a Thursday night. It's been always trying to make the Park District trying to make the right financial decisions in terms of finding the right vendor that will provide the fireworks, quality fireworks, along with this show last year, which was absolutely fabulous with the group that came out and performed. So June 29th, look on the Park District website. We'll put that out about the fireworks being in Zion again. And it was a great event last year. It reminded me, I've said this before, kind of old Zion, where everybody came together and had fun listening to music, being out celebrating and enjoying each other's company. No incidents, which was absolutely terrific. So thanks to our police department, first responders for that. On July 18th, we have a Zion Town Boardship Council, Zion Township meeting, board meeting, and on July 18th, we have a Zion City Council meeting. And with that, item number 12, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All right. Motion by Fryerson, second by Holmes. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you for coming out tonight, and have a great rest of the week, and we will see you soon.